Alrighty, guys, we're doing a review today. I figured I would just play the beginning part of this game. Figured that'd be good for a review. That way it doesn't have too many spoiler things in what I'm playing. And that way, I could just play it on an easy mode and can focus on talking while I'm doing this. I wrote notes this time, so we're good. We're gonna start out, we're gonna do it's like a 3-part review. She's excited. We're gonna do it. The first part we're gonna do is probably gonna not have that many spoilers. I'm gonna turn the music down. As much as I love it, it's a bit loud. So I'm just gonna start off, we're gonna give a basic review of the game. Which is, I fucking love it. I know that when I finished the game last time, I did not really focus. My brain was like, this good game, and that's all I could say. And it bears repeating, this is a fucking fantastic game. I mean, look at this. This is a game. This is a game, and it's amazing. I have to say, it is my #1 favorite game for the year. And that's probably not going to change. It's very unlikely that anything is going to beat what this game gives to me. But it is also my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. Which was a hard decision because Final Fantasy XII was my favorite Final Fantasy game. It's still second. But this one beats it out. And there's reasons for that. The reason is mostly I base Final Fantasy games on the plot and how the story makes me feel. So, I mean, the combat's really great too. Jeez, everything's gonna die really easy because I've spent too much time in this game. But I'm gonna put the controller down for a minute because I need to actually talk. The reason this game is my #1 Final Fantasy game and my #1 favorite game of all time has actually very little to do with how the game looks and how it plays. Like, I'm not big on graphics, don't fucking matter to me. Like, it's a beautiful, gorgeous game. I mean, look at this. It is gorgeous. Like, it is an amazing game that they created. But it could still be done in little 8-bit things and still be pretty fantastic. I mean, the original 7 is like 4th now on my favorite of all Final Fantasies. And most of that to do is with how the story hits. Which, it's a great story, I just don't think the original 7 story hits well for me because I rely a lot on voice acting. So, now that it has no voice acting, doesn't really convey emotion to me. But, like I said, it's a lot more for the story. It's the reason this is one of my favorite. Like, the combat could be Final Fantasy 15. It could be original Final Fantasy 7 combat. I wouldn't care. I don't give a fuck. It's fine. It's fun to play. They're all fun to play. I will say, however, this game is super fun. It's like 15 on steroids. And I'm big on that. That's fun. It's a lot of fun. Even the classic mode is fun, though. I will say, though, the story definitely hits home more emotionally. I'm not going to get into details until later, but that is how I rank a good game. If I fucking cry, which I did, I tried not to because I was on camera, but I've cried. I'm doing a review, Silent Assassin. I'm doing a review. I have to have footage. I love this game so much, but like I was saying, definitely my favorite game of all time. Definitely my favorite Final Fantasy because it hits, man. Shush you. It hits so hard. The emotion. And that's how I rate good games. Like, this game had it. Where the original Final Fantasy VII was kind of meh. I didn't give a fuck about anyone. Except for Vincent and Nanaki. And that was it. This game, I care about everyone. They did such a good job. I'm trying not to be spoilery yet. I'm trying to give a basic review. What? Excuse me. It's true. The original Final Fantasy VII was not one of my top favorites. It's alright, but this one does emotion better. But it's okay. It's fine. It's good. But 10 and 12 and 15 are all better to me. 12 was my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. And the reason is the voice acting. I did not. I was fucking happy. If they take out her death, I will be pissed. She needs to die. It needs to stay. Her death needs to stay. I did cry at Nanaki's part, and that's the only part of the game I cried about, because him howling and his dad dropping tears, that's sad shit, man. That shit needs to be in the remake. I can't wait to cry over that. Try not to drop spoilers from yet. We'll get to the spoiler review. This is just the basic review. As I said, I've said it a million times already. This is a fucking great game. There are things that aren't great. The fucking pole vaulting, weird ass nonsense, not great. I really hate, and I hated this in Kingdom Hearts, and I hate it here, is when you're trying to use an ability and you get hit, and it's like, not fuck it, you got hit while you're trying to do something, gonna waste your magic, and you're not gonna do anything. I hate that. Katase loves to do that shit, and I think it's fucking stupid. I think it is utter bullshit. I hated it in Kingdom Hearts. I still fucking hate it in this game. It doesn't happen so much on hard mode, I've noticed. Katase was probably like... Katase's who made the game. He's the director of Kingdom Hearts and director of original Final Fantasy VII and of the remake. How do you not know who Katase is? He's been in like every interview. Nomura. I'm sorry, I used his other... It's Nomura. His name is Katase Nomura, but... I can't believe you don't know what his name was. Yeah, he's the director. Oh, Yoshinira Katase. Sorry, wrong name. I'm combining two into one. No, Katase is the director. That's the music writer, I think. But Katase is the director of Final Fantasy VII, Kingdom Hearts. Whenever people complain about something that happens, it's normally at Katase. Always. No, he directed it. I think. He's the music person, isn't he? I don't know. I don't know all of their names. There's pretty much the original team for 7 worked on this. But... God, there's some stupid things. And what, like, I have small complaints. Oh, he is like, we will get to that. Let me do my script. I wrote a script. Silent. Okay. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. Since you brought it up, we're gonna skip to the music. We're not gonna skip, well, hold on, actually I'm gonna talk about... God, I am off order because I can't do... I need the script! This is what happens when I don't use a script. I ramble and I say the same thing repeatedly. But, okay, I will say, I had very high hopes for this game when it came out. And I will tell you, this game... I will tell the little one, she is so involved and she doesn't know what's happening. Which part? Anyway, I will say, I had high hopes for this game. This game crushed those hopes in a good way. Like, I was like, even if this game sucks, I will love it. Nothing's wrong. I'm doing a review. How are you? You're so cute. I've only said the same thing, which is this game is great. I've literally not gotten past that part. But it is great. It totally knocked it out of the park. One of my expectations. Yeah? Yes, baby? I'm not gonna go. You're silly. It's okay. But yeah. Knocked it out of this park. This game is better than I hoped for. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. Well, then go play. Every time I try to do a review for anything, this is what happens. Yeah, knocked it out of the park, though. As I said, this is my favorite game of all time right now. I've played through it twice. I have, look at how many hours. I have 62 hours and 30 minutes in this fucking game, and I'm not even done. I have 2 more playthroughs planned. This is the only game that I'm gonna fucking platinum because I want to. It's amazing. But talking about knocking it out of the park, the music. The original music is my favorite music of every Final Fantasy game. And this game was like, hey, we're gonna take this music that's already fucking great and we're gonna put it on fucking steroids. Sephiroth's fucking theme alone is like fucking high-level drug-ass shit rock music. And it's just amazing. I didn't think you could improve One Winged Angel. Because, like, Advent Children had great One Winged Angel. Crisis Core had wonderful One Winged Angel. I am gonna fucking swear all I want. Good. And, like, man, One Winged Angel got better, and I don't know how that song got better. But it's great. And I love it. Genova's theme got crazy. It does have one of the best, but this game knocks it out of the park. This One Winged Angel is amazing. I cannot believe what they did. Fucking musical genius over here. I don't know why I'm picking up any of this. I don't need it. I have 99 of almost everything in this game. Oh, it's good. Oh, you haven't gotten to that part? There's gonna be spoilers. I'm gonna talk about it. But, it's so good. It's really good. It's a fucking 12-minute song. It's 12 minutes. And they tease you up until the 6-minute point, and then they're like, Rina, Sephiroth, and they do that part. They tease it for 6 minutes, and then they hit the good part that everyone knows. It's like, wow. Genova's too. Oh my god, all the music is amazing. And like I said, the gameplay isn't a big deal for me, but this game has amazing gameplay. Look at me hit my boxes. Like, they took all the combat system, abilities, materia, and they added more. Like, look at all this shit. Look at that. It's not gonna let me look at my abilities right now. I have all of them. There's a lot. They made the limit breaks interesting. I do have small complaints, like the fact that you can't use 2 limit breaks at the same time and they made them individual levels. I want to use both of them. I want to have both of them on me all the time, but you can't. I do love what they did with the materia. It's exactly the same. It does almost even with the renamed one, do exactly what the old materia does. The only issue is you can't make baby materia, and I'm upset about that. Not that you need to. The game gives you, like, repeat copies of everything. But I wanted to make baby materia. That way I could sell the babies. That probably sounds really weird out of context. But you can't do that. That's not a thing. And I was very disappointed when I mastered a materia and it didn't split off a baby. Very upset about that. But they're little complaints. Like, they're not a big deal. And I think the game works just fine without it. Let's see. Oh, okay.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now? He's got balls this
Oh, I think graphics, I mean, look at it, it's beautiful. We all know the graphics are good. We know the music's good. But the story is obviously good. We'll get to that. I've already spent 20 minutes just talking about one thing. I swear my brain. But I wanted to talk about more about the gameplay. I think what's great, and this was what's great in the original as well, is that you can play any way that you want to play. Like, there's a million different choices, there's a million different abilities. The game lets you play in your own style of playing, and I think that is especially unique. Because I've watched other people play it, and they play so differently from me, which is exactly how the original 7 is. It's amazing. It's amazing how many different ways you can play with just the materia, the abilities, the weapons. I'm back to using his Buster Sword again. Even though I have all the other weapons, I just think the Buster Sword is better because it gives you health, and I like health. But also, you can just be all physical, you can change who your healers are. I'm still playing very much how I played in the original, but I kind of give my healing to everyone this time around. Everyone heals. It's everyone's ability. I think that's amazing. They made a game that's really accessible to everyone. I do think, plot-wise, that this story comes across better to people who've played the original. I don't think it does as well. With new audiences, just because the game gives so much away. The game gives so much of late stuff away, and I think that works better with people who've played it than it does people who don't. And this is where the spoilers are gonna start. We're gonna start the spoilers. Jesus. I'm so strong. We're gonna go chapter by chapter. The only way to do this is I want to compare the story to the original. So, I want to do that by chapter. Overall, Square deserves so much applause for how they reimagined the chapters without changing much. They didn't change a lot of the dialogue, and most of the dialogue they added just sounds like it's from the original. And I think that's amazing. Like, Chapter 1 is great. It's fun. It's exactly what it should have been. It's just the bombing mission. But you already get to see the characters more. Like, you could talk to Jesse and Biggs and Wedge in the original, but you didn't get to actually see the personality that much. You automatically help Jesse now, instead of... you got the choice in the original to help her, but in this one it's like, you will help her. That's already happening. I don't think I can do this chapter by chapter. I'm not coordinated enough to, but I will say, I will wait until she's done singing into the microphone. I will say, oh yeah, the Genova one is great. We're talking about the OG game and spoilers now. Stop singing into the microphone!
No. You're biting.
It is. Oh my god, all of the music is so insane. But Square did such a good job. They brought the characters to life. Like, Barrett, it is more of Barrett than he was in the original. Stop tapping on my microphone.
Oh.
I like One Winged Angel. I think it sounds amazing. Best fucking song in the whole remake. I love it. It gets my heart race going, like, Sephiroth. Listening to that while fighting Sephiroth was everything to me. Like, Jesus. Speaking of, since I'm trying to compare things with the original game and you are distracting me, it's fine, but God, I don't have the mindset to do a review with people talking, apparently. But bringing in Sephiroth early, I think was great, because the first time I played Final Fantasy VII, I did not know who the fuck was talking to Cloud. I thought he was talking to himself. He was not. He was talking to Sephiroth. Didn't know that. Some parts sounded like he was talking to Zack, which this game made a little bit more clearer. But I did appreciate them bringing in Sephiroth early, because Sephiroth doesn't come into the main game until... well, till he kills Aerith. Basically, that's the first time you actually see him. See him. Like, you see him on the boat. But then it turns out it's just Genova, which again, that's still the case. You see him in Midgar, and it's Cloud's mental state and Sephiroth's genes that are inserted into him. But it's also Jenova. Because Sephiroth is dead. And I still think that's the case. I still think Sephiroth is dead. I don't think they've changed that. Honestly, don't at all. I still think he's dead. But they really made it more clear. Like, you get to see the other clones. Sephiroth clones. That just... Cloud just has more of a mindset than everyone. They bring in Zack so early. I was shocked at how early they brought in Zack. I'm not shocked how early they brought in Jenova. Fighting Jenova and fighting Sephiroth was something I expected, and was pleasantly surprised that they actually went through with it. Like, I was hoping for it, because they were like, the rail boss, annoyance, motor ball, whatever the heck his name is, that used to be the final boss of Midgar. And now it's Jenova and Sephiroth, and I'm happy with that. I think they were great boss fights. I have to say, plot-wise, the Arbiter of Fates whispers, they feel really pointless. They feel really just there. They feel really lame in comparison, because they could have just not had them there and the game would have still made the same sense that it made in the original game. And my hope is that while they change things, they don't change main plot points. Like, especially with Sephiroth and Aerith and Zack. I'd be okay if Zack's alive, honestly. But I still want Zack to be a Sephiroth clone, because he is. He has Jenova cells. Yes, what's wrong? You got boo-boo? Is that better? Oh, I'm sorry. Come here. Okay. Can Mama finish this? What hurts? Your knee? Oh no! Cloud's gonna run into a wall because my controller fell. What happened? What'd you do? Is that better? Okay. What'd you do though? You scratched yourself good, my goodness. Yeah. Alright, I don't remember what I was saying.
Let go.
I'm okay. Getting yelled at. But, yeah. Zack being alive would only be good if, like the original game, Sephiroth still kills Aerith. Because instead of Cloud losing control, because Cloud seems to have control over the Sephiroth situation in this one, so I don't think Cloud's gonna go mental nonsense and attack Aerith. I don't think that's gonna happen. I do think, however, if they made Zack alive, they could have Zack try to kill Aerith. And then Cloud get in the way and then Sephiroth kill her. She needs to die. I'll be upset if they change that. I'd be very upset if they change that. Everything else is fine. Everything else I'm cool with. But that still needs to happen. I feel like that's very important. Because Cloud goes on a revenge thing. And he also gets mentally fucked up and, like, becomes, like, totally gone in the head. Mako poisoning nonsense.
It's good when I know someone who can get us the passcodes.
There was something else I wanted to talk about and I've already forgotten. My brain. I wrote down a script and it's not helping, guys. Oh, I do have to say Reno and Rude are very different than they were in the original game. In the original game, they did not care about hurting people. At least it didn't come off that they cared. Advent Children fixed that, and it made them seem like they cared. It also made them comic relief, which I'm glad they aren't for this one. But it's definitely clear that Reno and Rude care about dropping a plate on people, and not just killing people in the slums. This isn't talked about, but they dropped a plate on people. There's also people that live on that plate. And I highly doubt if Shinra didn't care about people in the slums, they're not gonna give a fuck about people living on the plate. No one went and got those people out. They went and saved the slums people. No one went and thought, hey, we should warn the people living on the plate, like Jessie's parents, who are now probably dead as well as she is. I'm 100% certain that Jessie's completely dead. She's the only one they haven't, like, re-shown. I think Wedge might be dead now, too. But yeah, the Reno and Rude caring is a really good thing. And it would explain why, in the original game, they take a vacation after all of the boat incident stuff. I'm excited to see Elena, though. That'd be cool, too. She's the last Turk member that they haven't shown yet. Besides the ones in Crisis Core, which I don't think they'll do. I'm excited to see Red's home. That's the only thing that I care about for the next remake, is Red's home. I want to know what his people are called. They're never given a name. They're just feline creatures, and Red's like the only one that's shown. Because Mom and Dad are dead. Well, Dad's not technically dead, he's stoned. But he's not alive. That's a fun boss fight on hard. I will let you know. It's easier on hard. I don't know why, but it was so much fun. There's so much I can't wait for, like Vincent. I want some Vincent. I want to play as Vincent. I want to see Vincent. They all got massive upgrades. Like, the bosses got amazing detail work. Fucking Hell House got to be a boss. Eligor got to be a boss. Tifa's always been sexy. I don't know what you're talking about. It's Tifa. Jessie got an upgrade. They all got upgrades. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I will say, I love this entire game. My favorite part of this game is Wall Market. I love Wall Market. The devs went crazy. She is. She's still annoying. So she's definitely on point. But, Wall Market's amazing. They still have Big Bro. Big Bro is still a thing, but now Big Bro has a name. It's Jules. Like, that's amazing. They still have the dress guy. He had a son. I'm pretty sure he had a daughter in the original, though, but a son's just as good. I'm not upset. Johnny, who I didn't realize was from the original game. Wow, he's annoying. I think overall, though, Madam M and Andre are my favorites. Andrea, sorry. Madam M, if you pay for the luxury thing, she basically gives Cloud a fucking orgasm by rubbing his hand. Like, that's what happens. Like, it's great, and it's worth paying the $3K for, which is not that expensive at this point. But, like, that whole thing, Madam M is just great. She's very angry. She's Barrett angry, like, original Barrett anger. And it's great. And then Honey Bee Inn is just better than I expected. I expected them to hesitate, because as great as the scenes are in the original FF7, they are very much outdated. It does. In fact, I've been playing the New Game Plus, which is why I have so many hours. I've been playing the New Game Plus on hard to go back and get everything. I'm playing this on easy right now because playing it on hard and trying to talk is not going to happen. But yeah, it does. But I have to say, yeah, Honey Bee Inn became a lot less outdated. People were worried they weren't even going to include it because the original Wall Market is a little outdated. And it is. It's still fun. but it could be very offensive if they had copied it word for word how it was in the original game. The way they updated it, it's fun. It's amazing. It's everything. Cloud dancing minigame. Great. Cloud dancing minigame with Cloud's face not fucking changing expressions the entire time. Cloud's dresses, I've seen all three now, are beautiful. Tifa's dresses are beautiful. Aerith's only got one that I like. But all of Tifa's are great. I do like the exotic one the most. I came from this direction. I can't play video games and talk. It's not a thing that happens. Yeah, so definitely Wall Market is my favorite part of the game. It's also the part that I think is the longest. Tifa in blue, Tifa in the exotic, Tifa in cheetah print, Tifa in everything. I am being jumped on. Cloud's blue steampunk Victorian dress. I want it. He has a gray dress too. That's very very Victorian. It's like gray Victorian dress, and I love it, and I want it. I love dresses like that. I think they're so pretty. Corneo was still a fucking creep. I knew that was coming. Everyone wishes. Speaking of something, if you continuously get hit by these, Jessie will tell you you have a pain kink. Like, she will just be like, you like that, huh? Is that your kink, Cloud? She kink shames him. I love it. I love it. This game is raunchy and adult. And I love it because it's still a teen rating. The blood, Genova's blood, it didn't look as creepy as it could have. It looked good. I didn't think it was gonna fit in. It fit in just fine. I do have to say, we're gonna talk about the ending now. Talked about everything else. I know that the ending, she does look amazing. Genova looks amazing. That battle is one of my favorites. I loved fighting Genova because it's so much fun. I liked fighting Sephiroth. I did not care about fighting the Whispers. They were fine. Like, they weren't anything special. The new enemies that they introduced did not impress me that much. I will say, we're gonna talk about the ending. The ending was very controversial. Either people loved it, like I loved it. I know Max loved it. I loved the ending. But I know hardcore fans that fucking hated the ending. They thought that Katase ruined the entire game with the ending. Personally, I don't agree. Outside the Whisper battle, which got you to fight Bahamut, which was the only good part of that fight, because Bahamut... the ending was great. Like, the Genova fight and the Sephiroth fight were always going to happen, and I knew they were going to happen. The minute Square was like, roller, what the heck is that thing's name on the road that you fight? I never know what it's called. An annoying thing. Can you go get the wipes? Because your hands are a mess. I knew Genova and Sephiroth were going to happen when they were like, what you think is the final boss is not, and all their talk about, this has to be a complete game. The only way to make this a complete game was to put Sephiroth and Genova in it, because that is like the staple of an ending to Final Fantasy VII, is a Genova and Sephiroth fight. We were going to fight Genova and Sephiroth in every single part, which makes me believe the next part has to end in Nibelheim. Because it would not make sense for it not to. Because you're gonna have to fight Genova again. You're gonna have to fight Sephiroth again. And Nibelheim is the perfect situation to do that. And that's exactly what I think they're gonna do. And it's every one of them is gonna have some kind of Genova or Sephiroth fight. Because they want them to feel like whole games. And that is one way to do it. Oh my gosh. But now that I'm done with the, basically, review. Good game. Good ending. Loved it. I love that they're making changes. I don't think the Whispers were the best way to do it. Honestly, I think they could have just changed things without the Whispers, because the Whispers aren't even going to be in the next game. So they were literally just a one-game gimmick that just felt out of place, the Whispers did. But it was still a really good game. It's still my favorite game of all time right now. Probably will be until the next one comes out. And my favorite Final Fantasy game. Now, we're gonna do discussions, which means spoilers. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers for Crisis Core, Advent Children, and Final Fantasy VII OG. I was gonna say Vincent's game, but I was like, what the fuck are you thinking, brain? No, there's not. There's none of that spoilers. But there's gonna be Crisis Core spoilers, and there's gonna be Advent Children and OG spoilers. Because I'm gonna discuss where I think the game is going. To start off, if you didn't notice while playing the game or while I played the game, Square Enix, even though a lot of the fans hated Advent Children, they think it's a terrible movie, apparently Katase fucking loves Advent Children. Every 5 seconds there was a reference to that movie. Literally the whole game. Rude and Reno, every part of their fights is a reference to Advent Children. Rude, his glass is breaking and putting him back on. Advent Children. All of it. And Sephiroth's entire existence is Advent Children Sephiroth. This is not OG Sephiroth. And I'm not the only person to think this. I've heard one other person think this. But I think that this version of Sephiroth is not OG 7's version of Sephiroth. I don't think it is. I think it's like Advent Children. I think it could even be futuristic Sephiroth from Advent Children, because he's got the one wing angel thing going on. And Cloud is doing the hand thing. Cloud doesn't do the hand thing in the original game. There's a thing he does in Advent Children, which is the geostigma hurting him, where he constantly looks at his hand or grabs it because it's in pain. And that is the life stream attacking the Sephiroth cells in his body. And he still does it. He has moments where, like, every time he has pain, this hand goes up. It's not the other hand, it's this hand, which is the one infected in Advent Children. And so I think that this version of Sephiroth is Advent Children's version of Sephiroth. I think they're using that. Basically, he can be anyone or take over anyone's body, and he's trying to take over Cloud's, which is something he did in the original. Ow. Excuse me, game. I feel like they're very much hinting at a lot of Advent Children, which leads me to believe Square loves Advent Children way more than other people do. I love Advent Children, so. But I think that it's going to take that route. That it's going to take the Advent Children route, where Sephiroth's not real, and he wasn't real either in the original, but I don't feel like they did a good job in the original of explaining that, because they wanted it to be a surprise. This game is like, no, there's no surprises. He's not real. He's dead. But basically, I'm thinking they're going to make it where Sephiroth can just hop into a body and just become real. And either, if they decide to bring Zack back, he's going to jump into Zack's body and we're going to have to kill Zack. That's what I think is going to happen. That is the only reason to keep Zack alive. Is to bring him some bad fight later on, where we have to fight Zack. Or Zack kills Aerith, like I said before. That's what it feels like is going to happen. Or, the ending is just very unclear and read wrong, and has nothing to do with Zack being alive, and Zack is still dead. It just makes you think that he's alive, but he's not really. That's how I feel. There's a lot of things that, number one, I can't articulate well my thoughts, even with a script, at all. But I do feel like they have a lot of Advent Children references for a reason. Which sucks if you never watch Advent Children or you never played the original games, because none of those make sense. Because they constantly in this game show Aerith's death. And there has to be a reason for that other than keeping her alive, which would make me very upset. I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't want it. Her death was so pivotal to the reason Cloud even fought Sephiroth. But I do like that they've shown him, like, he changes over the game. He gets his memories back, which is something they did not make clear in the original game either, but you can see it. There's moments where Tifa's fucking confused by him, because she's like, you shouldn't know that. That didn't happen the way you think it happened. So, yeah, I don't know what else to talk about now. It's a great game. That's pretty much my review. It's a great game. I can't wait for the next one. Number one, I want to play as Nanaki. I want to play as Red. I can't wait for that. Like, just seeing his limit break and stuff was cool. I will say there are two things I'm worried about. And they weren't things that you could explore in this game, so that's why I'm worried, because they gave no grasp of how they were going to be. I'm worried about the open world, because right after Midgar, you don't get full, it's not like Final Fantasy 15 open world. Not by any means. Because you get on a little island and you can only go like 3 places without a boat or a chocobo. And you don't get chocobos that early. So I'm worried about that. There's 3 things I'm worried about. I don't know why I said 2. I'm worried about the open world. I want it to look like Final Fantasy 15's, because Final Fantasy 15 had an amazing open world. For everyone that complains about that game, it's amazing though. It's so open world for a company that's not overly great at open world games. But I'm worried that they aren't going to do that. I'm worried that they're going to make it linear. Midgar's okay being linear. The rest of the game would not be. Because I want to explore the map and fucking level up for no reason. I do hope they raise the max level. Because 50 was not enough. I haven't even finished my second playthrough on hard mode, and I'm already max level. And I did that in like 2 chapters. Like, I need more than that. But I'm also worried about the party system. Because if it is linear, and what I fear Square is going to do, because I'm sure Square wants you to try every party combination and feel how it feels and challenge you, because that's what they did in this one, is they gave you characters and they're like, work with it. I don't want that in the next part, because I have always played the original Final Fantasy VII with 3 characters. Cloud, Yuffie, and Vincent, because they have the best fucking conversations. And before you get Vincent or Yuffie, I would put in Tifa and Red. And my worry is because I've seen what their party system is in this, and it's not an actual party system, it's a, we've decided what characters you're going to use here and here. And that's what I'm worried about, is that they're going to do for the next one as well, is you're going to use this party because we want you to, instead of giving us the choice to use the same characters for the entire part 2. Which is exactly what I want to do. I don't want to level up a bunch of characters, I want to level up the characters I like. I don't really want to experiment with all the characters, especially since Red is going to be the only new character probably in part 2. Unless they bring in Yuffie early. And Vincent. And I don't know if they're going to get to Nibelheim for Vincent. Unless they do it endgame, and then they do exactly what they did with Red, where you can't control him. I do have to say, even though you couldn't control Red, it was pretty amazing. Like, I enjoyed the use of him as a 4th party member. The last thing I'm worried about is carryover. I feel like they're gonna carry over because the max level was 50. And it would kind of be a waste to only set it to 50 instead of 99. Because trust me, you could get to level 99 in this game. There is no doubt about that. But there's no reason to set it to level... That monodrive was pushing a box towards me. What's wrong with you? I've never seen that. It was like, it's like, here, have a box. God, I got distracted. But I feel like they're gonna carry over, but at the same time, I feel like they're not gonna carry over everything. Like, they could start the next game at, like, level 25 or 30, and I feel like that'd be good. That'd be really good. Because I don't think they're gonna go higher than that, because all Final Fantasy games levels stop at level 99. That is their thing. Everything stops at level 99. Potions, 99. You can't have 100, 99. All items, 99. Level, 99. Health points, 9999. That's just how they do things, is they always stop at 9. But this game gives you half the summons, honestly. It gives you a good portion of the summons. And it gives you a lot of the original materia. Which makes me worry that they're just going to be like, hey, new game. You get none of the levels, you get none of the items, you get none of the magic. That would annoy me. I understand them wanting to maybe limit it, but they put so much into this game. And maybe they put too much. Because dang, I don't want to lose all the items and materia. It would just be really lame. But I do hope that they continue to do bosses like this, and like Airbuster and Sephiroth. I'm curious for part 2, I wish they would announce something. Maybe I don't want to, Parrot. I think we're gonna leave that there. I think I've discussed everything I wanted to discuss. I'm just going in circles about how great a game this is. So, I think we're gonna leave it there while Barrett's yelling at us. But yeah, so we're gonna leave it there. This is about what I thought I would do for a review. A bit longer than I thought I'd talk for, but I did a lot of rambling. So, we'll be back tomorrow because I have a surprise for tomorrow. So we'll be back with that. And I will see you all then. Bye.